Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness Rage across New York. This scene takes place immediately after the urban mission that a group of Cleats and one cub was sent on. Tlatahin at this point is guiding the cub back to the sept. Like she still wears the gloves and the hoodie, like pulled far over her head, staring at the pavement most of the time. From time to time, she does have to glance up because, yeah, she still has to find her way back to Sept. She won't actually say a thing at this point. Kind of gives the cub Joe kind of gives him the opportunity to collect his thoughts, think things over in silence as she's leading him towards the sept. Once they hit the sept grounds, she's going to guide him to a very big lake. Seems to be some kind of shrine standing in the middle, and it's gonna point to sit down. She sits down herself as well.
Um,
Come sit.
Anything.
Sorry, I missed half the sentence. Like you broke up.
Oh,
God damn it! I can hear you talking, but I can't make out what you're saying. You're breaking up.
okay.
Ah, okay. Sorry. It's really weird. Maybe I have a bad connection. No, I can't really. Um, she she'll pull out a flask. It's just water, and hands it over to him.
Joe smiles softly and accepts it. Takes a big drag.
We have not been introduced yet. Um, my name is Tlatahin, also known as Final Rites. I am a
How
theurge.
about
Hmm?
then?
Maybe you need to lower your bandwidth or something, because I can't make up anything that you're saying. I have the feeling you have a bad connection. Or is it me? No, I don't think it's me. Hello? Hello? 1, 2, 3. We seem to have technical difficulties. Hello? I still can't hear you. Oh boy. Nothing yet? No. Oh, either he's reloading or we just lost him completely. Let's give him a minute. I'm sorry, anyone who's watching this. Technical difficulties do happen to all of us from time to time. They kind of suck.
I was just trying to fix this.
Ah, there you are.
There we are. So,
That's better.
what I was saying initially was that Joe Joe would take the water, take a after giving you a very soft smile, and he takes a drag on it and hands it back, and he says, "How about them baptisms?"
She blinks a couple of times. Baptisms.
Sorry, Ryan, it's an expression. The baptism of fire and all that stuff.
A Hamid expression, I take it.
Yes, Ryan.
She'll lower, like, take off the hood. And what you can see is like what you see in the picture. You see kind of on certain parts of her body, you will see scales like a fish. If you look very closely, you can see behind her ears there are gills. And she starts taking off the gloves, which like shows her hands that are like covered in like caked blood. Slowly, the webbings between her fingers starts to regrow since she's a metis. Also, what you would have definitely noticed is that she's like half your size or something. Like she's really tiny.
I've seen some really cool stuff over the last couple of days.
Cool stuff.
Well, yeah, like gods exist, spirits exist,
Hmm.
you know, all that stuff.
Right. You're not raised within the nation.
No, Raya.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Tlatahin, also known as Final Right. I am a Theurge, Metis. I am with the Wendigo tribe and the Cleath of the nation.
Joe looks around. Is there anyone else around?
Probably not. It's like she would have like specifically taken like a or looked for like a quiet spot.
Okay. So Joe will actually take a knee and he'll kind of lower his neck a bit and say, Joe Summers, I I was born under the half moon and I was born on two legs.
I've heard
It's
of your arrival. She kind of
it's
like pinches his neck a little bit as to show some exception or acceptation. Sorry.
it's very nice to meet you, Raya.
Hmm, you're one of the few who would probably think so. So, how are you feeling?
I'm not really sure how to answer that, Raya. I mean, I accept what needed to happen happened. I feel sad for that girl and her family.
Hmm. Be sad, but understand that what you did was a blessing, as her soul was probably already halfway gone. You just pushed her through. When one when a bane attaches to a person, whether they be human, kin, or guru, if it's not removed within specific time, it devours the soul. You've given her peace.
Joe nods, and just says quietly, I hope so.
No, so. However, your behavior was not admirable. I understand this is all new. You are a cub. You need to learn. As a Garu and specifically as a Philodox, you will be forced to make hard decisions, tough decisions. Crying over it won't help anyone. In fact, it might even make it more difficult for a lot of people. You will have to learn to live with this and with your role that you have in the nation. There will be many more tough decisions ahead on your journey until you will join your ancestors. And you'll have to face them as a protector of Gaia. They don't cry. Not when the duty comes first. Tears. I won't say don't have them, but there's a time and place for it. And you'll have to learn when that time and when that place is. Realize that at some point, now it was a kinfolk that you had met for barely half an hour. It may one day be your brother or sister that you will have to judge and possibly execute. What have you learned so far?
Um, Joe goes over like everything from the ranking system to the fact that there are tribes, and you know the like the Trinity, which was sort of like taught to him like on the fly today, and um, you know, uh, the war is real basically, and our connections are all that we have. The connections with those we love, those on the sept, um, the spirits, all of it. If we're not careful, we could lose this war, and and then it'd just be bad for everybody.
Yes. If the worm wins, then all of Gaia will be destroyed, and reality as we know it stops to exist. There will be no more Tellurian, which is this world, in case you don't know that. There will be no more Umbra, which is the spirit world, until all the realms further and farther away from here.
Uh, Beg pardon, Ryan. May I ask a question?
Of course, you're a cub.
How many realms are there?
Many. The one that you will be mostly seeing, at least for now, will be the Tellurian, which you have known most of your life, and will be the Penumbra, which is the spirit realm. There are more realms that you can travel to, which you will discover as you grow within the nation. Some of them hold our ancestor spirits, some of them are beautiful realms, other ones are quite the opposite, where chaos will rule, where the worm thrives, or where the weaver will build his nest.
The the world in which we live is basically a pendulum or a set of scales, and I
There are
guess
many different ways to see it.
and I guess the gardener's job is to try and keep it all in balance.
Our job as a nation is to defend Gaia, to defeat the worm, and hopefully push back the weaver. We are called a nation, but in essence, we are not. We are a group of warriors acting like one, part animal, part spirit, part human. You, as a cub, have the right to ask, have the right to be taught, have the right to make mistakes. As you
Regarding
grow,
that,
yes,
my apologies, Raya.
go ahead.
Was I wrong to tell? I'm I'm sorry. I don't know how to address a Raya that is not you, that holds a higher rank than you.
Everything above you is called, well, you will use Raya for. Usually it is fixed to the name. You may address me as Tlatehin Raya or Tlate Raya, as some shorten my name, or William as William Raya,
I see.
unless they give you permission to address them otherwise. No matter how high the rank, they will be a Raya.
Of course. Was I wrong to share prior to the mission that I had been are battling an addiction?
No, you were not wrong. Knowing one's weaknesses and knowing the weaknesses of the group that you travel in is good. it would have been wrong if you would have fallen to those addictions, especially if we wouldn't have known. You were not wrong. You were wrong, however, when you tried to disobey.
I I don't understand.
You were trying to aim for a lethal part of that individual that we guided to hard reset, Raya. If I had knocked your arm out of the way, you may have hit his head. That kills humans. That would have
Even
been disobeying a direct order from a superior. As I said, we are very much an army. You saw how forlorn was talked to afterwards. You're a cub. You're allowed to make mistakes. But beware, too many mistakes will get punishments.
Joe nods. Um, I keep thinking that I can't tell you how many times my older brothers and sisters would beat me in the head with a coconut, or I'd get hit with a baseball or something. I guess I figured since I was in my breed form, I think that's what you call it. The
Yes.
um, I get uh,
Do
I
you
don't
know
know.
something of medicine?
Maybe a little, but not much.
A head knows many soft spots. She kind of points to a few of them. Um, you hit there, and you may well end someone's life in one strike. You were hitting with a rock. Rocks that we didn't prepare, that we didn't round it down. If there would have been a sharp point, you would have hit the wrong spot. You would have died. The
Oh,
brain is something tricky. Sometimes, even when we don't plan to, hit a head the wrong way and a person can die simply because there will be a bleeding in the brain.
concussions and whatnot.
I understand you want to do what is right and you want to help. I understand that you did that to the best of your ability. But realize that there will be a time for you to lead if you learn to listen now.
Yes, Clatine.
If it's easier for you, you can address me with my deed name. Fine, alright.
I like your name. I I need to practice. Mm. Joe smiles without actually looking her right in the eye right now, as he's being admonished. Um, regarding Um, 10-point Raya.
Yes.
I I owe her an apology. I think
Why?
it was the first day I'd arrived. Things had been sort of nuts. And she just popped out of nowhere, and I got scared when I saw her.
Yes. That is not a strange reaction, and she's as well aware as I am of what our appearance can do to those who are not familiar with it.
I wasn't trying to be mean to her, and I felt bad because I not only was I not able to apologize, but the other Rayas had their own ideas. That's all I really felt comfortable with saying.
You can do so as you please. It is up to her to accept or not. But in the end, she is only a Metis.
That's something I don't think I'll ever understand.
Mm. You will have to. It is a very important part of your job as a Philodox.
Oh no, forgive me, Raya. I didn't mean the crime. I didn't mean what produces a menace, but a child does not choose who and what they are. It's foreign to me to hate someone that had no say.
Let me make this thing a little more easy, I think. Do you look like your mother or father?
Um,
Your mother's nose? Your father's build? Something like that?
as much as I hate to admit it, yes. Although I do wish that I looked more like my foster parents, as ridiculous as that possibly sounds.
Hmm. You look like your parents. You probably have character traits such as them.
Joe's eyes kind of darken for a minute, but then he just kind of shakes his head.
We are the result of our parents. You as much as I, as much as 10 Point. We may not be responsible for our birth, but it's up to us to carry that burden. We will always be the shame of the nation, a fall of a good Garou, and another one.
That that may well be Raya, but I won't hate you for it. We all have things we're not proud of.
It's more than that, but you'll find out. I don't think many hate Metis, but feeling ashamed of us, feeling scared, we are the living proof of a breach of the veil of the influence of the worm into our society as Garou. That is something that is not easy to swallow for a lot of Garou, and rightfully so. We are a risk, both to the Vale as to the nation. We cannot produce any Garou. So in that we are a further risk even, because the nation is falling slowly, simply because we lack the numbers. Two Garou fall, so a Metis is born that cannot continue their line. It is damaging for morale and damaging to the nation, and therefore we are damned.
I've had an interesting thought, Raya. If I put the things I've learned over the past 3, 4 days, a thought has come to me. Is it possible that Gaia, in her wisdom when she made us, as you're saying, you're a blend of nature and of spirit and of human. Is it possible that on some level one of the reasons people are perhaps nervous or afraid of medicines might be that the balance might shift somehow, and one of the three elements of our nature might be braided out.
I highly doubt that.
Hmm. Joe's voice was like gentle the whole time. Just so you know.
Hmm. Hers is pretty much emotionless, and she's not smiling. But then again, she rarely is. So, do you have any questions regarding the mission? Any things that bother you? Any things that you would like to know?
Not really. I think a part of me was glad that I was able to do what I did.
Hmm.
I could see that the Ryan was struggling.
Should give him a look at that. She won't say anything yet.
I think if I understand my auspice even a little, we're supposed to help with burns like this.
Know that you weren't asked to speak judgments because she was holding back out of emotion. She's given you the opportunity to learn.
Oh, I understood that, Raya.
Good. As a fellow dogs, You are to uphold the litany, which means that you will be seen as the judge and executioner. In this, what I've seen so far, that every Philodox and every tribe has their own way, and you will have to find yours. Your word can halt an argument, but can also execute a wayward Garou. It is always up to you to judge as fairly as you can.
In as far as the circumstance will allow, I didn't think there was any other option than what happened.
I think this was a fairly easy task. She went beyond rescue, therefore it's best to get it over with as soon as possible before she would suffer more. Very simple.
Simple, perhaps. I don't know about easy. Right.
It was easy. Some of the cases that I've seen be far more complicated than this, and can have far more outstretching results than the death of a kinfolk, however tragic that is.
What will happen to Spear Raya?
Full-on Judge or Radiant Sphere has a history of bad behavior. He has managed to anger one of our sept totems.
Great White Mouse.
Yes, by killing mice and rats.
Which is against her law.
Each spirit, especially totems, have blessings to give. Each spirit always has to be paid in kind. A spirit of that magnitude, with the blessings that it can bestow upon the sept, means that certain rules will have to be followed. If they're not, the consequences can be grave, and not just for an individual, but for the sept as a whole. He has breached that. He's breached a contract, a pact that the highest ranking theurge had made with it. For that, he will receive punishments. He has, in the same period of those days, trespassed on several other rules, parts of the litany even. For that, he will be punished. And now again, it is not up to me. I am a theurge. We offer advice, counsel, and we are the ones that commune with the spirits, talk to them, make deals with them. This is up to the Philodoxes.
You hold a very important position yourself.
I am only a Cleath.
But you're a medicine woman.
Yes.
This is a very honorable honorable position.
And one that I hope to fulfill adequately.
For whatever it might be worth. Though I'm a cub and I've only met you today, I truly think you will.
Mm. We cannot predict the future, though there are ways to get visions of it. They are vague at best. In the end, the greatest thing for a Metis to do, for any Garo to do, in my point of view, is to die in service of Gaia and have a death that is a worthy one. Once my time has come, my ancestors and the spirits will judge me and my actions during my life.
I will strive not to burden you with my discipline again, Ryan. I thank you for your education.
Being a theurge is also teaching about the spiritual side of what it means to be a Garou. Galliards, they teach. They teach the history of the Garou nation, the history of the tribes, and wise lessons that every Garou should know. When it comes to dealings with the spiritual, the spirits, the realms, when it comes to advice, it is a theurge that you will go to.
Then there is something I think that I would like to ask your help with.
To ask.
I have yet to properly introduce myself to the Seps Totem. Would you please show me how?
Well, at this point, I would advise not to, as Great White Mouse is still greatly grieved, and I can't imagine Chimera not looking at that. You are a Philodox. You're also Garou. The best way to show your well wishes to our totems is to make offerings at their shrines. Have you been to the heart of the cairn?
No, Ryan, not.
Are you familiar with a cairn?
Sorry?
Are you familiar with what a cairn is?
Not wholly, but again, this is simply my putting things together.
Hmm.
Would the Karen be the heart of the sept?
Yes. It is a place of power closer to the spirit realms, closer to the Umbra than the rest of the Tellurian. There are more of these places, and not all of them are good. Well, not all of them are Gaian cairns. The
Hmm.
worm also holds these places, and many fights are had over controlling these places of power. This one has been firmly in our grasp, luckily, which I believe we have our Alpha to thank for, Larissa Raya. But yes, the cairn is also the heart of the sept, because it is the same. It is the place of power. It's the place where our hearts are closest to the spiritual realms. It's also the place where you'll find most of the shrines, like that one, she points out across the water. When we're standing here at this lake, it is the shrine of Uktena. Uktena is the spirit of wisdom, is the tribal totem of the Uktena tribe. To
Would it be rude of me to not offer an offering to the chief totem first before offering an offering to one of the other shrines?
you can offer at shrines where you will feel mostly attuned to. You can offer to all the shrines, but then you are doing nothing but making offerings all day. If you want to appease the spirits, you can leave presents at the shrines. The shrines of Great White Mouse and Chimera are in the heart of the sept, and the other ones lie around them. Great White Mouse, offering to Great White Mouse can be pretty simple in a way. Food, shelter. It's mainly what Great White Mouse desires. Chimera is very much a totem of dreams, knowledge, but it's never forward, always vague, like a fleeting dream that you wake up from, try to grasp. It would probably accept an offering of knowledge.
Joe, 2 more questions for now, if I may.
Of course.
Um, what is this litany that people keep talking about?
I'll look it up at a character because I don't know it off the top of my head yet.
Um, out of
She'll sit down.
I'll I mean
Sorry.
out of character I can look at it, but I mean we can say
Yeah,
that.
no, it's fair.
But now I can say that I know enough about it that
Mm.
Joe's been sort of looking into it. So
She is gonna like sit a little bit different, like stretch one leg. The litany is a code of laws that we keep. It is very old. It was made at the end of the Impertium, which I'm sure one of the Philodoxes can explain to you in more detail.
Joe will nod at this as he's quite aware that he's asked some pretty big questions.
The every tribe, I think even every individual may interpret the tenets a little different, but in great lines they hold the following. First tenet of the litany is the most important one. Garu shall not mate with another Garu. Second is to combat the worm wherever it dwells and wherever it breeds. The third is to respect the territory of another. The fourth is to accept an honorable surrender. The fifth is submission to those of higher station. The sixth is respect those of lower station, for all are of Gaia. The seventh is saying that the first share of the kill will be for their greatest sensation. The eighth, you shall not eat the flesh of humans. The ninth is the veil shall not be lifted. The 10th tenant is do not suffer thy people to tend thy sickness. The 12th, the leader may be challenged at any time during peace. The 13th, the leader may not be challenged during wartime. And the final one is you shall take no action that causes a guarantee to be violated. Now each tenant, of course, has more in-depth explanation. But again, I think a philodox can explain that better than I can. But this is a general overview of it.
Joe bows his head very low. Yes, I understand. Though I'm afraid I have a second question. Though I did initially say to accept surrender, would that also include if one of those my apologies, Raya. I'm struggling for the the servants of the worm.
Mm.
Would they be included as well?
No, because as a second tenet of the Litany states, we will battle the worm wherever it dwells and whenever it breeds. It exceeds the other one.
I see.
But that is my opinion of it. And the philodox of a different tribe, a different sept, may hold different ideas on it.
How do we judge who's correct?
That's up to the philodoxes. The other auspices will always assume the philodox to be correct, unless they really disagree with it. In that case, a philodox of a higher rank can be asked to serve as a mediator. I have not seen that happening. Most philodoxes are well trained. They're very disciplined, as far as I've seen them.
Joan, would you do me the honor of performing a cleansing on me, Raya?
I think we can presume that she did that, because else wards would have gone off if you were bomb tainted enough. So she'll kind of smile. She
Oh,
says,
okay. Like out of character, I didn't
I
know
hadn't
if like.
stated it, but if you would have gotten substantial worm taint and would not have been cleansed, we wouldn't be sitting talking in the sept.
No, that's fine. Although I'm gonna take the advantage and say that that was done then
Hmm.
in this video.
Yeah.
So
If you want to, I can show it to you in a little more detail, because the rite of cleansing is a rite of a court, and as all philodoxes, that is your mm, not necessarily territory, but those rights come easy to you as philodox.
yes, please.
And yeah, she'll go through the like gets out her materials like a bottle of water and what else would she use for this? I think she used mostly water. And she'll explain that basically everybody uses something different. Like a lot of guru use smoke to clean,
Mm-hmm.
but she uses water. Um, and it basically means that you're walking around a person. This is why you can never cleanse yourself. You can only cleanse another because you have to walk around someone and either blow the smoke around them while praying, or as she does, like sprinkle water over them, um, and yeah, like saying a prayer to Gaia, um, basically cleansing the worm taint off someone.
Thank you, Ryan. Mm. Thank you for helping me get back to the set.
That is no problem. That is my task. You're a cub. It is our task to guide you and hopefully see you become a successful Cleath.
I will I will strive to do right by you.
Don't do right by me. Do right by Gaia.
Yes, Ryan.
And she'll
Good night.
actually like give like a very small smile at that and will nod. Good night.
Good night, Ryan.
Good night, Cub Joe.
And Joe sort of walks away and he offers a Hawaiian hand sign as he steps into his cabin.
And yeah, Tlatine will actually kind of follow him a bit slower, and she'll disappear in the cabin next to him. Actually, she's the former female cub cabin, and is now a place where her pack is. And with that, we will end the scene. Unless you want to do something.
Nope. I think maybe if the camera shifts, we see Joe pulling a lei out of his backpack, and he's preparing an offering for the spirit of the sept.
And then it's there that we will end the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And we will see you again at another scene of Living World of Darkness.